Okay, welcome to the first of these videos on revenue, and we're just going to start off by defining our revenue terms. So, firstly, what is revenue? Well, essentially it's the income to a business. It's the money coming in. And so we start off straight away then with our first definition. Total revenue is the total amount of money coming into the firm. It's the firm's total income. There is a little formula for working this out. So what we can do is we can look at the price that the firm is selling the units for and the amount of units they're selling. We multiply those two together and that gives us our total amount of income. So here's an example. So let's say the firm's selling its product for £9 per unit and it sells 3,000 of them. So it gets 3,000 lots of £9. Quickly do our 3,000 times tables and we work out that their total revenue would be £27,000. So that's our total revenue, price times quantity. Also, it's going to be useful for us to know our average revenue. So what are we getting per unit? Okay. And there's a little formula here, and it's the same for any other time you've ever worked out an average, really. So we divide the total by the quantity. So average revenue is our total revenue divided by a quantity. But we've just defined total revenue, and there's a fun little trick we can do here. So average revenue is price times quantity divided by quantity. And we'll remember from our mathematics that actually then we can cancel the quantities out, which means that average revenue is our price, which is nice. And that's what you'd expect is that if every time you're selling a unit for £9, you're getting £9 on average, you're getting £9. That's the price. And here's our example again. So our quantity is 3,000, our total revenue is 27,000. So we divide £27,000 by the quantity by 3,000, and we work out that our price is £9, as we expected. Then finally, we come on to the concept of the margin, and this is a concept that you may or may not be familiar with. And the margin basically looks at the very edge, like a margin on your piece of paper, the very edge of activity. In this case, it's output, so we're looking at how much a firm decides to produce and sell. So what's the change in revenue when the firm sells one more unit, or possibly even one fewer unit? Okay, so it's a change in total revenue when output changes by 1 unit. That's our proper definition. And basically, we'd look at the total revenues to work that out. So if the total revenue is £27,000 when we produce 3,000 units, and it's £27,009 when we produce 3,001 units, then the marginal revenue of the 3,001st unit is going to be £9. That's the change in the total revenue when we produced one more unit. So there we go, that's it, that's our definitions. Hopefully those will be useful to you, and then in the next video we'll have a look at what the graphs of these would look like.